Hey guys, how you doing? Let's do a roundup of recent news in the automotive world. And we'll start with something very local. In fact, locally designed and built car. Yes, they do exist. In fact, there's three of them at last count. More details on motoringme.com. Now, this is for the Zaruk Motors vehicle, and we attended a press conference for this. It was like at the end of 2015, so quite a while back. However, they've now just announced that this thing is actually going into production. They've announced that the first batch of cars is ready to go into production, a 35 edition run of the car. And there's been a few changes along the way. So back in the end of 2015, they told us it would be a V6. Nope, it's a 6.2 litre V8, which, to be honest with you, makes perfect sense. I even said at the time that that's what it should be. Maybe a little less agreeable. They originally said the price would start from $100,000. It's now will be priced at $450,000. Yeah, so that's well, that escalated quickly. Anyway, so these things are going to be called the Sand Racer 500 GT. Now, the Sand Racer apparently is a desert snake. I think was it Shikari snake, something like that. Maybe some of you guys can enlighten me as to what that is. Now, what do we know about this car? We've got some pictures of it, as you can see. It's got the carbon fiber body will be built in Belgium. The interiors are going to be fully luxuriously upholstered by Mansouri. You know Mansouri, love them, hate them, but you know they do quality work, and they're going to be doing that in Germany. The car underneath it will have Dakar grade Intrax dampers. Which have something like a 45 centimeter ground clearance, is something incredible. Also underneath, we have a space frame lightweight chassis. The whole car weighs about 1,200 kilograms in total, and it'll have a 5-speed sequential transmission from Weddell Industries, and that's going to be mated to, as I said, the 6.2 litre V8, which will be mounted mid-engine rear, so yeah, behind the seats. It's going to be rear driver only. So you're thinking, hang on, this is a all-terrain supercar, but the fact that it's going to be so light and that it should have plenty of power means that it should be alright in the desert. And I have driven what is it, a Local Motors Rally Fighter, which you will have seen in the Fast and Furious movies. I drove that a few years ago in the desert, and the review is on motoringme.com. And you know what? It handled it. And again, that was also rear-wheel drive only. The only difference was that was a front-engine car. This is a mid-engine car. The weight distribution should be a bit better. I tell you what, it looks fantastic. And although it's a bit more costlier than I thought it would be, I tell you what, I can't wait to give it a go. And believe you me, I am pestering them. And if that happens, stay tuned because you'll be the first to hear about it. Now, staying with exotic cars for a moment, Lamborghini, as we know, they're doing an SUV. I mean, they're already testing the thing. I think it's running up and down Nürburgring right now, putting in probably incredible laps there. I think it's a V8, that car. And in fact, I think it's going to be $250,000, that one, which is half the price of the Sand Racer. Anyway, exclusivity, hey? Because Lamborghinis are not exclusive anymore, let's be honest. In fact, they've had quite a lot of sales success, particularly with the Aventador and the Huracan. In fact, buoyed by that success, they want to expand the range even further. And the latest bit of information that we have, which comes to us via Motor Trend magazine, is that there may be a 4-seat sports car coming soon, something to rival that Ferrari GT Lusso range of cars. But hold your horses, we're not going to be seeing this until 2025 or 2030. Are we still going to be driving cars at that time? I thought they're all going to be automated, aren't they? Anyway, going from Lamborghini to the Toyota Camry. Now, I've got to say, the current Toyota Camry that you see on our roads, right? We don't give them a second glance. And we almost Camry blind, you know? They all just look like taxis to us. But I have to say, if you ever look at them closely, if you ever use your imagination and rip the taxi livery off them, they're actually pretty good looking cars. They're quite sleek and quite smooth looking. However, check this out. This is the new North American version of the Camry, and it is not bad looking at all, is it? In America, it's been a bestseller for 15 years, so they've got a solid track record there, but they've decided to get very aggressive and quite different with this car. However, not so much in the engineering, so none of this 2-litre turbo nonsense. They're sticking with a 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine, which will give you about 206 horsepower. But get this, the 3.5 V6 will give you more than 300 brake horsepower. Don't get too excited though, because we don't get the North American one, we get the one from Thailand. Never say never though. It'll be interesting to see what turns up at the Dubai Motor Show later this year. Stay tuned. And whilst we're on this, I just want to remind you, in fact, stand by and put this date into your diary, July the 14th, which is coming up soon, because that's when one of the Camry's key rivals, the Honda Accord, an all-new version of the Honda Accord, the 10th generation of the car apparently, is going to be revealed. So stay tuned for MME, to Motoring Middle East, for news on that car as soon as we get it. Now, here's something that's completely irrelevant to you. We don't do diesels here, and you may have been wondering all your life, it's like, well, what's the big deal about diesel? What's so great about driving them? Well, I have driven diesels, I've driven diesels in the UK, and I've got to tell you, first of all, the low-down torque is incredible. You know, it's quite remarkable. Get that in a small car, and it's a bit of a sprinter. But most importantly, of course, is the fuel economy. The fuel price, the price for diesel is pretty much the same, or sometimes more expensive than the price for unleaded, I should say. But you get so many more miles out of it, you get so many more kilometers out of it, that it kind of like, whoa, this thing just goes forever. However, recently, because of the issues with the scandals with certain companies have gotten into a little bit of hot water with this situation, and also because of the fact that pollution is a real issue with these diesels, and not just pollution that you can see, but pollution that actually can cause harm, and is responsible for deaths and sickness. So this has all put a little bit of a hate on diesels recently, and the enthusiasm for them has gone down. In fact, 40% of the cars on UK roads are currently diesels. But according to Autocar magazine in the UK, when they did a survey, they found that only 23% of buyers will consider buying a diesel the next time round. Instead, they were shifting back to good old unleaded. Well, petrol is getting cheaper, isn't it? Theoretically. We need it to get more expensive here in the Middle East, but anyway, that's by the by. Or they're going to move to hybrid and electric cars. Now, talking of electric, Aston Martin has confirmed that it has a Tesla Model S rival prepared and ready in the wings. Well, actually not that ready, it's a bit of a way off yet. 2019 is when we're going to see this thing. And it's hardly a surprise, because there was a concept shown a couple of years ago. And also not a surprise that this is going to be called the Rapid E. That's rapid, but with a capital E at the end of P, as opposed to Rapide, which is their existing car upon which this is going to be based, or rather it's going to be based on the Rapide AMR concept. Now Rapide also is rapid with an E on the end. This is all getting very confusing. Why don't you just call it something else, Aston? Anyway, this is going into production in 2019, as I've said. But for some reason, only as a limited production run. Only 155 versions of these will be made. And they're doing it not in collaboration with Mercedes, because that's what you would have thought, that's what I would have thought, because, of course, they have that engineering tie-up with Mercedes. Now, don't they? I still say Mercedes should buy them outright. That's what Aston Martin needs. It needs a big German company to come in and just take them over. That's not happening yet. And for this particular project, they're doing it in collaboration with Williams Advanced Engineering. Does that name sound familiar? Well, of course it does. Williams, the Formula One team. Yes, they're doing it with them. Interesting, that. What else have we got? There's an all-new BMW X3, the 3rd generation, in fact. And look at it. It looks pretty mean and butch. It's all grown up. It's not the mumsy thing that we're all used to with the X3, is it? It almost looks like an X5, doesn't it? And fittingly enough, this 2018 X3 will, for the first time, have an M Performance version, and it will be called the M40i. Yeah, all these namings. It's not a 4-liter. It's not a 4-liter, but it's called the M40i. In fact, it'll be a 3-liter, 6-cylinder, but it will produce a pretty hefty 360 brake horsepower, and I'll give it a 0 to 100 time of 4.8 seconds. That's under 5 seconds. Now, last but not least, this is not really an item of news, but it is news for Motoring Middle East, if you like. But I want to just take the moment to send a big shout out and a thanks to AC Delco Arabia specifically, because they recently sponsored several of our video reviews, and you can see them on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Motoring Middle East, and also on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Motoring Middle East. And you know, getting someone to sponsor our reviews simply means that we can get a film crew out there and film them properly. Now, we're grateful for all you guys have been watching our videos and following us and all the rest of it. And some of you guys leave us some great feedback and some really, really useful feedback. And time to time, you quite rightly point out on some of our regular videos that there's issues with the sound, there's issues with the picture quality, and you're right. But you know what? To do this stuff properly costs money. That is the problem. And so it's great when a wonderful company like AC Delco Arabia comes along and steps forward and does us a big favor and helps us out in producing these videos. Now, in return, I'm asking you a favor. Could you please do me a favor, go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/AC Delco Arabia, and hit like. Or you know what, I'll put the link somewhere around this window, it'll be somewhere. Just go there, hit like, show them some love, because you know what? They showed us some love, you know, and this is how it all works. Ultimately, by doing that, they allow us to continue doing what we're doing, what you want us to do, which is bring you news, views, and reviews from the automotive world. So there you go, that was our roundup of news. Maybe we'll try and do these more often. If you like them, let us know, and we will endeavor to do that. Please do follow us though on motoringme.com, of course. We put a lot of stuff up on our Facebook page, and that is, of course, like I said, facebook.com/motoringmiddle-east. You can also find us on Instagram. We put a lot of stuff up on there, and even on Twitter. On Twitter, we are at motoringme_. You can also follow me, Shazad Sheikh. Just search for me on all of the user channels, Instagram, Facebook, and all the rest of it. Thanks so much. See you guys next time.